first things first, my lighting. I find that lighting is super important when it comes to filming videos because you want people to see what you're talking about. Ideally, daylight is the best, but I live in Canada and it's only what? Yeah, it's only like 4 and it's already pretty dark out there. Do you see that? Yeah, it's already pretty dark. So I like to use soft boxes. I initially had 2 soft boxes on each side of me and a ring light in the middle, but that was honestly overkill because one thing you have to keep in mind when it comes to lighting is depending on the space you have, you need more or less light. So when it comes to lighting, I actually use an overhead light that you see over there to light up my background. And you have seen recently when I do more chatty videos, I usually have the light here turned off and it changes the mood completely of my video, and honestly really like that because, you know, it creates versatility in my videos. But most importantly, I have 2 soft boxes on each side of me. So these soft boxes actually initially come with 4 bulbs in each one of them, but as you can see from the size of my studio, it's not that big and I don't need that much light, so to speak. So having too much light, one, you're gonna be too hot, it's gonna hurt your eyes, so you really want to balance those things out. All what I'm sharing right now seriously depends on your filming location and your surrounding. Like even later on, I'm gonna be showing you my camera settings and all that. Everything I'm about to show you is so subjective to your filming location. So like I said, since this room is not that big, I did not need 4 bulbs in each one of them. So here, if I open it up, let me just show you real quick. If I open it up, as you can see, I only have 2 bulbs and it's enough for me. And the reflectors really help because it makes that the lights are not so harsh. 1, it doesn't hurt my eyes, and 2, it really gives me that softer feel. Oh yeah, by the way, these came as a set with everything, including the tripod, and it's from Newer. I'll be linking everything in the description box below, as well as this came also, like the whole thing, but this together and then this separately. This one is one big huge bulb up there, and it's just perfect because it really truly lights me up. And having this, I think they call it like 3-point lighting system, so 1, 2, 3, all the light is on you. And to help that and like remove any kind of shadows you could possibly have, I have a reflector over here. This also is from Newer. It actually comes with something inside that's like a bit more rigid, like you see like when photographers have, and I just fold it into 2 and I'm good to go. So it comes with a silver side and there's also a golden side. Usually during the summer I tend to use the golden side more than the silver, but that's just a preference. So that's what I use for my lighting. One thing I find that's really important as well is like this light is, they're all like white bulbs, right? But the thing is like it's really great and all because it really gives you that whole daylight effect, but sometimes it tends to wash me out, and I find it very important to actually have some yellow lights to balance all that. I have truly personally seen a difference when I switch on the yellow light versus when I don't have any yellow light whatsoever. I look way more washed out, and also I find that it balances it out in the sense that I become more true to tone and I don't feel as neutral or pale as I normally would if I didn't have the yellow light. Even this one, you think it doesn't do anything, but when I don't have it on, I'm like, something is really off. But yeah, that is what I use for my lighting. Do I think you need all this? You could actually just do with just a ring light, and I did that for a really long time and it was great. The only thing is like I did not know how to use my camera settings properly, so I think I could have gotten more out of just using a ring light, but for me this works perfectly fine to have this 3 soft boxes. I know that some people also like using umbrella lights. I feel umbrella lights are a bit too harsh and they're better for like bigger spaces, whereas these with the reflectors really give you that nice beautiful soft lighting effect, like that studio lighting effect. perfect. But yeah, that is what I use for lighting. Of course, if you live somewhere that is sunnier and where the lighting is more constant, a huge big window is amazing. I find I take the best pictures in daylight versus like, even with like all my studio lights and everything, the pictures are beautiful, but daylight is actually ideal. But since I live in Canada, it's not stable, the clouds, all that. And if you want to be constant and have same lighting throughout your video, a good thing to have are studio lights or a ring light. So yeah, that is it for the light. So now moving on to the camera and the lens I use. So the camera I use is the Canon EOS 70D. And one thing I really love about it is you have the little flip screen thingy that is really super handy. You can also connect it, like you see right there, connect it to your computer and have it as a monitor, like whilst using EOS Utility 2, but I'm gonna get to that in a little bit. And the lens I use is the Sigma 18 to 35 millimeter lens. Really love this lens. It's really amazing. It's super heavy. It's kind of expensive. There's a reason why it's a favorite, because it's a zoom lens and it has a very low f-stop. The thing about the f-stop is this: the lower the f-stop, the more bokeh, like blurry, your background gets. So for example, my Canon EOS 70D came with this kit lens, which is the 1855 millimeters, and it has, what's the f-stop on this? So the background is not super blurry and it zooms in and out, but not as much as the Sigma lens. So if you want that really blurry background and you do not want to splurge on the Sigma, a really good lens to have is what they call the Nifty 50, is the Canon 50 millimeter lens. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it has as low as an f-stop as this one, but you really do get that blurry background. The only thing about the Nifty 50 that I don't like is that you cannot zoom with it. So either you have to have your camera really, really far away from you so you can have more view in frame and have that really nice blurry background, unless it's like pretty cropped and it's pretty close up. But it's a great lens. It's seriously one of my favorite lenses. Really small lens, but it packs such a punch. And another thing I love about the Sigma and the Nifty 50 is when it's focusing, you don't hear it focus. Like, the most annoying thing that I had with my Nikon is like when it used to focus on stuff, you hear this sound, and it was really, really, really annoying. But my favorite is, honestly, ever since I got this Sigma lens, it is an investment. If you want to buy it, you gotta buy it during the Black Friday sale or the Cyber Monday sale, because it really does cost an arm and a leg, but it's so worth it. Sigma does really beautiful lenses, and honestly, the lens is so big. Like, let me show you guys this. So this is the kit lens that comes with your Canon if you're buying it with a kit lens. It's a great lens, but like, look at the size of this, like in comparison, right? And the Sigma lens is so heavy, so if ever you're getting that, make sure your tripod is nice and sturdy. You don't want a wobbly tripod. You want something that is really sturdy, especially if you're gonna have like a heavy DSLR on it with, like, on top of that, like a lens, like a heavy lens. You really want something super sturdy. I've had this ever since I got my first DSLR, which was my Nikon, but this is so sturdy. So one thing I love about it is you can adjust this to about just anything. You can turn this over here and have your camera in this shape. You can turn the knob over here and have this over here go all the way up, and also at the bottom over here you can adjust so you can actually have this tripod sit really, really high. If you're standing up, have it really high in front of you and you're good to go. So one of the things I really love about the Canon camera, and I want to say it's one of the reasons why I switched actually to the Canon camera, is because Canon has always worked really well with others. I don't know how else to put this, but it's so easy to connect your camera to your computer or even to your phone. Like, it's Wi-Fi. I can send stuff from my camera to my phone or even to my computer. And one of the best things about connecting your camera to your computer is like it serves as a monitor, because yes, it does have the little flip screen and it's really great and everything, but if like me your eyesight isn't the best and you really want to see that big red button telling you you're filming, this is the way to go. So I'm gonna be showing you my camera settings right now. I do want to make it a point to say that all this is subjective to your filming, surrounding, setup, lighting, all that. But if you have a similar situation going on, these are the settings I use for my camera. Yeah, real quick, before I get into my camera settings, I want to talk about batteries. So I, for a really long time, had a bunch of batteries, and I'll link all of that below. I had like the one battery that came with the camera, and then I bought like 3 extra ones, so when I'm filming I can like rotate, charge, and all that good stuff. And honestly, it's really handy if you are filming and you want to batch film. You really do want to get extra batteries. So basically what I have when it comes to my camera is my battery is actually connected to the wall socket, so I constantly have power on my camera, and it's so amazing. But basically, I'm linking that as well below. So it's in here, and there's a little like wire thing. It's actually made for it. Like, there's actually a space and everything for you to do that. So it has a little cord thingy, and it's connected down there to like the power, to the power basically on the wall socket. And it is so handy. Ever since I got that, my only problem was space on my SD card. That is all. Having that to not think about is an extra bonus to this whole YouTube game, because sometimes you want to be filming back to back to back to back because you're inspired or whatever, but battery is keeping you down. But when you have it connected to your power socket, you're good to go. And honestly, it is so amazing. So I'll be linking that below. I swear I've never heard anybody talk about this, and I'm like, why not? So that's a dope thing. And now my camera settings, finally. So when it comes to my camera settings, I usually film in manual, and then I connect it to my computer, and that's where I set up everything. I don't set up anything on my camera, I set up everything on my computer. So you want to go to EOS Utility 2, and it's gonna open up, and you're gonna see like on your camera over there that it's connected, and you want to go into camera settings. There you go. And you want to go to live view shoot, or whatever they call it. So here I am. Hi guys. So I usually have my white balance set to auto. For a very long time I used to use a gray card for that, but honestly, set it to auto, you should be good. Then I have my shutter speed at 180. So what that does, so let me show you. So when you reduce that, it becomes way brighter, right? So usually I have it, actually I should bring it to 160. So 160 over here. Here is my f-stop. There you go. You see how blurry my background became, right? So that's because of the f-stop. So the lowest f-stop you can go on this is f1.8. So if I increase it, one, my video becomes darker, but also because it's all about like, it's kind of like the iris, I want to say, like opening up and closing up. And so I have it at f1.8, and I get like a really nice blurry background. And then my ISO. So your ISO, you can either leave it on auto, but usually I bring it to 100, but you can also like increase it so like it's brighter depending on, you know, what you like. But usually I have it at about 100 I think there's a ratio thingy where it's at 100, you have to have it at 50 or something, but this is what I use and it works perfectly fine. And now for my shooting menu. So over here you have picture style. So if I, let's say, put it on auto, this is how it looks like, completely dull. What the heck just happened? So I find that putting it in portrait mode gives it that really soft look. And then I go into here, which are detail settings, and so usually I have the sharpness at around 2. You can make it way sharper if you want, but I find it just gives you like that soft look. I keep my contrast at 0. Then my saturation, I usually have it at 2. You see how orangey I look? So usually I have it at 1 or 2 depending, but nowadays it's mostly 2. And then color tone, I usually have it at -2. If I bring it up this way, it's a little bit like greener or whatever, and it's not really cute. So usually I have it at around -2, and that's how I get a filming setting. The third thing is audio. Audio I find is really important. I've clicked out of a video because the audio was crap. I think I've finally figured out how my audio can be really good and crisp, and it took me a while, honestly. Even in my last video, I didn't set up things properly and it kind of messed up. Audio I feel is very important. So for a very long time I was just using the audio straight out of my camera, and honestly it's not the best. It's really not the best. When it comes to post-production, you find yourself wasting a lot of time on adjusting your audio and making sure everything is clear and crisp, and even that, it's not always perfect. So for a very long time I actually used to use the Zoom H1, and it's a great mic. Honestly, it's a super great mic, but the thing is, I don't know why I never plugged it into my camera. I think I could have, but I never thought about it. And I don't know, I just wanted something more sturdy with like better sound and also like more options when it came to like audio. So that's why I got the Blue Yeti microphone. Anyway, so this is the Blue Yeti microphone, and honestly I'm so happy that I got it. So here what you do is you connect it directly to your computer, and then it's also like powered by that as well, so that's really cool. And then you connect this little headphone, like this little jack. So you get that, you connect that into your mic, and you also connect it to your camera. Oh yeah, so the reason why I switched from the Zoom to this is because the Zoom needed the battery, and as you can tell, I don't like stuff that needs batteries because it's just like pulling me down. And one thing I love about this is like you always know when it's connected. If it's on mute, it just goes like this, but when it's ready to record, it goes like the light just stays red. So usually I have my volume at about a little bit more, like a smidge more than half, and then turn it around and you have more settings over here. So you can adjust your gain over here. So usually I have my gain a bit lower, and then I record in this setting over here. I think it's called Colloid or something, like audio recording setting, so you can like 2 people like interview or whatever, or just like the surround sound, but this just picks up the sound in front, which is me. So when you're alone, you want to put it on this setting. To get the most out of your mic, you need to go manual. You want to set up your audio as well, because that's how you get the most out. So you can do it directly on your camera, or you can do it here. So usually what I like to do is go to sound recording settings, go to select, and I always go to manual, and then I remove the attenuator, and then I really do lower my audio recording levels, because as you can see, it's peaking, and you do not want it to peak unless your audio becomes really grainy and it's annoying to adjust in post-production. It's better to have it not peak so much, so that after in post you can reduce or increase the volume without without it peaking, and you know, just doesn't hurt your ears, right? So you see, like if I bring it up like this, you see how it goes like really red, and you don't want that. So usually I'm sitting at about here, my mic is about here, and it's way too high. So usually I just like talk normally and I reduce it until it doesn't peak anymore. So it's usually around here and it's not peaking that much, and then in post-production I can actually like adjust the audio without having it to be elevated. And so that's what I do when it comes to my audio settings. Okay, so there you have it, my filming setup. I do hope that this video was helpful and as informative as it possibly could be. If there's anything else you would like to know, don't hesitate to drop a comment below. I'll reply to you. Or if you're feeling shy, you can slide into my DMs and we can talk about all this stuff or other things. You know, for those of you who have contacted me like via DM and stuff like that, you know that I reply. Like sometimes I'm not quick on replies, but I do always reply. So don't hesitate to reach out if you need extra information on something else, unless just drop a comment below. Please click on that subscribe button, and I cannot believe I didn't say this, but guys, we passed 5K. Honestly, it was seriously the highlight of my month, because I've been doing this for a hot minute now. Getting to this like 5K mark really does mean the world to me, and I just want to take a little moment to tell you guys how much I love you and appreciate you. And I don't know, I just really truly feel blessed to have you guys in my life. Like when you come to me and you talk to me in the DMs, like on Instagram and stuff like that, and it just like, you cannot even begin to imagine how happy that makes me feel. And yeah, you're subscribers, but I feel like you're friends as well. So thank you for making me want to come back and bring out content. And it's all because of you guys, because honestly, like if I didn't get any like feedback or anything, I think I would have stopped a long time ago. You guys mean so much to me, like seriously, so thank you. So thank you for that. But yeah, thank you for that. It really truly does mean so much to me, and to 5K more, I guess. And I think I'm just gonna end the video on that note. Love you guys. See you next time. Bye.